everybody, how are you guys doing? Welcome to another reaction video. Now this video is going to be something different. Well, not really. I've reacted to something from Game Theorists in the past. I've reacted to some stuff from the Theorists channels, and I think that's what we're gonna do again today. This was recommended to me by Jade Hodge. I will have that link in the description to their channel, as well as the original link to this video, which is Rosalina Unmasked Part 1. We're going to get into Part 2 at a later time. It'll probably be before I have to go on Friday. Just a quick reminder, I'm not taking any reactions until March 27th. Alright? But I also have a question for you guys. Would you guys like to see me do any sort of gaming content at all? You know, like, even if I'm just recording it from my phone, and even if it's just, like, highlight clips or whatever, would you guys like to see something like that? Like, just highlight clips, or just, like, gameplay with, like, you know, me voicing over the gameplay, you know what I mean? You know, just kind of, like, voicing over that or something. I don't know. It would probably start up in, like, the summertime, and I think just because I'm in school, I would probably only do it during the summer. Or I could probably just do it during the weekend because I want to focus on schoolwork and then any potential reaction videos that I have coming up. But yeah, anyways, guys, with that being said, I'm going to stop talking right now. We're going to get right into this video. Also, in total, quick disclaimer, I am chewing gum, so if you are disturbed by that at all, you know what, I don't really give a crap. Let's get right into the video. Let's get this show on the road.
Talking about a Guardian of the Galaxy, a female one that has entirely nothing to do with that movie. It's Rosalina. We're talking about Rosalina from Super Mario Galaxy. But yeah, that movie was great, right?
I did
love
like
the part
Guardians
where
of the Galaxy.
Star-Lord was
Really
like,
good
I'm
movie.
Star-Lord, and he's all like, pew, 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 pew.
I really like the intros that they have. Especially Game Theorists. Game Theorists is probably my favorite.
Then Groot was totally like, I am Groot. Oh, we're on. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, the show that really can't wait for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Seriously, I have not had that much fun at a movie in a long time. Oh, so good. Sorry, I gotta stay focused. Anyway, let's talk about Rosalina. She's a galaxy-hopping princess with a hairstyle stolen straight from Captain Planet's Dr. Blight. And from her humble beginnings in Super Mario Galaxy, she's starting to appear in everything. 3 main series titles, 4 Mario Karts, a party around at the links, and pretty soon the newest Smash. Really? Rosalina and like 15 Fire Emblem characters, and Ness still hasn't been confirmed for the game.
She's in
priorities straight, Nintendo. But outside of she owns a space station and she looks smoking hot in a biker outfit, what do we really know about this monotone maiden? Nothing. She's an interstellar enigma. Or is she? Who is Rosalina? Have there been clues hidden in plain sight as to what her true identity is? Today we're out to solve this maiden's mystery, and what we find throws everything you thought you knew about the Mario universe out the window. Well, except for the fact that he's a sociopath, which is still 100%
Oh yeah, Mario
It seems to me the best place to start is with the bedtime story Rosalina reads throughout Super Mario Galaxy. The story recounts the tale of a sad little girl on a quest to find one Luma's missing mother.
Aww.
Shocked, that story is actually about Rosalina herself. What? Shattering revelation, I know. But seriously, where it gets interesting is in Chapter 4, when the story mentions Rosalina's mother. Via the book's illustrations, we get 2 glimpses of her. First, from the back, and then again, the bottom half of her face. Do those hair flips, that mouth shape, the gold crown, and those rounded blue earrings look familiar? Because they should. Peach is Rosalina's mother. Cue the dramatic music.
What?
Not quite as dramatic as I envisioned, but okay. No, wait, I can read your mind. But the hair is longer and the dress is blue. That's what you're thinking, right? Right?
But the dress has nothing to do with it.
I'm like the geeky version of David Blaine. But I agree, these similarities are very superficial and far from 100% confirmation. That's why it's also worth mentioning the silhouette of the castle that appears in Chapter 7 of the book, when the little girl in the story looks at her former home through her father's old telescope. Notice the 3 prominent spires with the one big one in the middle?
Like
seems an awful lot like typical depictions of Peach's castle, no? Since it's in shadow, though, I suppose it could be just any old
looks like Peach's
three-spired castle with one
Kinda
very
does.
tall one in the center. I mean, I hear those are very popular in the Mushroom Kingdom after all. Hashtag obvious sarcasm is obvious. But if we're going to prove something as huge as Rosalina being the daughter of the First Lady of Gaming, we need something more than hints. We need something more definitive. We need something scientific. Genes! Ronnie, come on, let's
Genes?
try it again. Genes! Genetics, DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid.
Oh
Come
my
on,
God, I just
dude,
thought
you're
of a
ruining
dad
my
joke.
flow. If
That
Peach and
was
Rosalina are truly
no.
related, they should be sharing some physical features, right? And
It's
yeah, I
funny,
mean,
but it's
obviously
disgusting.
they look alike, but we're the game theorists. We can do one better. We can use genetics to show that there's a high statistical probability that the two are related. So let's start with one of Rosalina's most identifiable traits. Her earlobes. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Whether or not your earlobes hang low and wobble to and fro, or are attached to your head, is dictated
Attached
by a
to
simple
Pac-Man?
dominant-recessive gene relationship.
no,
You
Pac-Man
probably
doesn't
did this
have
stuff in
ears.
school, right? 7th grade biosci, anyone? But to recap, you get one set of genes
Oh, yeah, I
or
missed 7th
alleles
grade
from your
biosci.
father and one set from your mother. The combination dictates what trait you show. That's called your phenotype.
no.
Phenotype
I was
for
gonna do the
physical.
hand
It's what
gesture, but
people
no, I'm not
see.
doing that.
So for earlobes, dangling earlobes are dominant and attached earlobes are recessive. Let's demonstrate that with a big
I
D
think
and a
mine are
little d. So as an
attached.
example,
Yeah, they're
your father
attached.
and mother both have one big D allele and one small D allele. By creating a chart called a Punnett square that shows all the possible gene combinations.
The possible. Yeah, you got capital D, capital D, capital D.
You
Little
see
D,
that the
capital
child
D,
is most
little D, and then two little D's.
because 3 out of the 4 scenarios contain a big D. The big D is dominant or stronger and covers up the little d. But
I'm sorry, I took that out of context.
earlobes will be attached, making it the rarer trait. Which is funny because Rosalina, believe it or not, has attached earlobes. Check it out. And that means both her parents would need to possess the small D allele.
So
but how can we
Mario's her
possibly
daddy?
figure out the genetic code of fictional video game characters? I'm glad you asked that. Well, you start by looking at the phenotype. What do Peach's ears look like? Trick is, Peach's ears are normally covered by her ungodly large blue earrings. But Nintendo has been kind
But?
enough to show us Peach in her developmental stages. Baby Peach. Baby Peach doesn't have her ears pierced, and thus we can see that she too has attached earlobes. In other words, she possesses 2 small D alleles, greatly increasing the likelihood that her child would also have attached lobes. And that's not all. Look at Mario, who presumably would be the father. Attached earlobes again, which means that the child of Peach and Mario would have a 100% chance of also having attached earlobes. Rosalina. And that's not all.
Wow.
What about eye and hair color? Now these things
Oh,
work
yeah,
a
that
little
does
bit
make
differently.
sense.
Both are polygenic or controlled by multiple genes. Let's focus on eye color. Eye color happens to be controlled by at least 2 separate genes. The first one, OCA2, comes in 2 forms, brown and blue. The second one, called Gay,
Gay.
also comes in 2 forms, but this time it's green and blue. Now the way this works is in a tiered system, with blue alleles being recessive, green being dominant over blue, and brown trumping them all. Here's a chart
Wow.
mapping out all the possible combinations, and as you can see, blue eyes are super rare because there are so many other genes that overpower those small Bs. So for
That's
Rosalina to
me.
have those piercing blue eyes of hers, her
Like green
parents
is
would
the rare
also
one.
need to... Well, somebody call Staples, because
Thought
that
it
was
was
easy.
like brown
The
was,
fact that both Peach and Mario also have blue eyes means
most
that their
common.
child would
Blue
have a
is rare, and
very
green
high
is, like,
likelihood
super
of
rare.
also having bright
Oh,
blue
that's what that
eyes,
was.
just
I don't
like
know
you
where I
see
heard that
in
from.
Rosalina. Hair color works in a lot the same way. It's also polygenic. Without getting too detailed, the fact that Peach has blonde hair greatly increases the likelihood her child would also have blonde hair. So to summarize, with genetics,
they
we're
got
talking
different,
about
like, different,
statistical
like, shades
odds.
of
And in
blonde
this
hair.
case, were Peach and Mario to have a baby, there's a very high likelihood that it would have the same phenotypes that you see in Rosalina. The last huge piece of genetic evidence, though, comes from Rosalina's handedness. Watch all the gameplay footage of her, and you see that she's left-handed. Notice how she prefers to keep her wand in her left hand? In an interesting twist, promotional art for her shows her holding it in her right hand. But I would assume that this is
Oh, yeah,
actually the
that's
product
weird.
of the world's right-handed bias. But that's a can of worms for an entirely different day. For now, let's focus on the genetics. Handedness is weird because it's not like the previous genetic examples. Researchers have no clear predictors that they've been able to figure out. What scientists do know is that consistently 10% of the world's population is left-handed, and that left-handedness tends to run in families, with the mother's preference being an important factor. On average, the chances of 2 right-handed parents having a left-handed child are around 10%. Having a right-handed mother and left-handed father keeps that percentage about the same. But having a left-handed mother and right-handed father makes the probability double. Now, looking across games, particularly the sports games, Mario Super Sluggers, Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, Nintendo's main man is clearly right-handed. No question there. But Peach is actually ambidextrous, good with both her right and left hands, playing baseball and tennis favoring the right, but golfing favoring the left. People born with a left-hand bias at birth are statistically more likely to show ambidextrous qualities later in life. So the likelihood of a couple like her and Mario having a left-handed child like Rosalina is actually greater than most other couples. The only thing that would increase those odds would have both parents be lefties, which increases the probability to 35%. So similar to how we approach TF2's Pyro, not only does Peach match the mother's depiction in the storybook, but statistically speaking, Peach's hypothetical daughter would have a much higher than normal chance of sharing a lot of the same qualities as Rosalina. But there's one final piece to this puzzle. Let's revisit Chapter 7 of Rosalina's bedtime story. We've already talked about the illustrations, but let's talk about the clues buried in the actual text. Quote, "She twisted the knob of the telescope, and the blue dot grew until she could make out a grassy hill dotted with flowers. It seemed very familiar to her. Zooming even closer, a terrace on the hill came into view. She remembered rubbing the sleep out of her eyes as she followed her father up that hill to look at the stars." So we know that Rosalina's home, that castle we saw in silhouette, isn't far from a good stargazing hill dotted with flowers. Galaxy's opening scene has Mario running to the top of a hill that overlooks Peach's castle, meaning it's close enough to walk to and has a beautiful view of the stars. It also happens to be lined with flowers, just like the hill described in the storybook. And not only does it have flowers, but look at the color of the flowers in the illustration. Purple, white, and yellow. Now look at the flowers on Mario's hill at the beginning of the game. Purple, white, and yellow. Now we're getting somewhere. And there's more. Here's an excerpt from when Rosalina's story takes a dark turn. Quote, "She remembered having picnics with her mother on that hill on bright and windy days, and the girl burst into tears. I want to go home. I want to go back to my house by the hill. I want to see my mother." The girl was shouting now, her face wet with tears. "But I know she's not there. I knew all along that she wasn't out there in the sky because she's sleeping under the tree on the hill." The girl's cries echoed through the stars, and a hush fell over the area. Like a punch to the gut, the story reveals that the girl's mother has been dead and buried the whole time. In a game like Mario, where dying in pits of lava or getting sucked into black holes is pretty much par for the course, knowing that there's a character that has died and is buried is just unsettling. It's a bit eerie. But this passage also provides us another clue as to the geography of this hill. There's a single tree on top of it. Find that tree on top of that stargazing hill that's right down the road from Peach's castle and with the yellow, purple, and white flowers, and you've got yourself a slam dunk. So, I played through the beginning of the game again, looking to find that tree, and didn't. Theory busted. Or was it? I remember that the end of the game features one final grand sweeping shot of the landscape around Peach's castle. And would you believe it? At the top of that hill, the hill that Mario just so happens to start the game at, the hill that matches all the qualities we've been looking for so far, what's at the top of that hill?
Is it the tree?
A single tree. Whew, did you feel that? I just got a chill down my spine. All the signs are there. Peach's hair, earrings, mouth, and crown in the illustrations. The genetics contributing to Rosalina's attached earlobes, blue eyes, blonde hair, and left-handedness. And the geography of the stargazing hill with white, yellow, and purple flowers with a single tree on top that Rosalina's mother is buried on. Wait. If Peach is Rosalina's mother, then that would mean Peach should be buried under that tree.
But Peach is
How is
alive.
that possible? Clearly I've overlooked something. Or I'm just running out of time and have to save it for part 2. I promise you, not only is there an explanation, it's one that perfectly fits with the theme of the game, ties together all the weird, cryptic loose ends present in Super Mario Galaxy, and even begins to offer us some deep philosophical undertones to the Mario franchise as a whole. In the meantime, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. Hey, while you're here, you should probably subscribe. That way you don't miss part 2 of this epic duology. I have to admit, this might be my favorite series of episodes I've done to date. I'm just gonna leave that right here for you to think about. Now, welcome back to the Super Amazing End-Card Tournament, where last time, Star Wars trounced Doctor Who 60,000 votes to 30, and Star Trek was left in the space dust with 15K. Con! More like can't! That joke didn't work. This week, I've got an important question. With Smash Bros on the way, I have a hankering to do some Super Smash physics, and I want to know what my next Nintendo theory should be. Could Link's hookshot be real, or how the Falcon Punch works? Click on one to choose, or if you have a better idea, let me know in the comments. In addition to whatever you choose, I've also got a super secret project that I've been working on, which I'm super excited about. So I'm keeping busy, but it's all to give you guys some great stuff over the next few months. I'm excited about all of it, and you should be too. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a quantum physics textbook with my name on it. Good light reading before bed.
Alright, so that should just about do it. That was... What the heck? I thought something was coming. That was Rosalina Unmasked. That's part 1. We're going to be checking out part 2 probably tomorrow? Either later tonight or tomorrow. I don't know. It'll depend on how I'm feeling. I have a big project that I gotta work on for English. It's due on Friday, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. And I'm just trying to close out the week strong. I have to get to work too. Should be okay. Okay, I got about like 35 minutes. But yeah, anyways, guys, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell to get all the latest news on all my latest content. And with that being said, this is GEXcalibur26, signing off.